Recording in progress.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Heart's Frontier. I'm Kate Graham, a shamanic oracle, and a whole bunch of other things. But this video is going to focus on the oracle part. This is a new type of video, so the first of its kind, if you happen to stumble upon this one. These are some oracle deck reviews. So today I'm going to be reviewing and just sharing with you all about the Sacred Traveler Oracle deck by Denise Linn. So I'm going to talk about this deck and how I use it and also, just explore it. And we're going to see what comes out. So if there's something that you'd like to know that I don't end up including, let me know because these videos are newer to me, but I think it would be helpful to show you all. And a little disclaimer before we get started, I just had this idea before jumping on that I'm going to link the decks so that you can buy them. And wherever possible, if it is possible, I know that a lot of people, even though some people have very different opinions about Amazon, and it's not my favorite thing, I would rather support small businesses. A lot of small businesses don't actually offer affiliates. And so for me to do this work continually and on like a free basis here on YouTube at this time, I'm going to opt for Amazon affiliate links where possible. So if you do want to get the deck sent to you, it will actually support me, a small business, a little bit. So you can feel a bit better about that decision. And I also won't hate on you if you end up finding it from your local shop. That's actually even better. And if you end up donating or working with me in some way on your healing work, then we all win, right? So just wanted to put that little disclaimer out there because I know some people are going to be like, Amazon. And I feel you. I get it. I get it. And also, this system exists just like banks exist. And even though there's other ways I would prefer to do things, I have a certain need to rely on things like Amazon or banks in order to get certain things done. So, where possible, where aligned, I make the decision to choose to go with them. And where I don't need to, I don't. And so, anyways, that's your choice. But I will have the link available if you do want to go buy this, as long as it is on Amazon. If it's not on Amazon, then I'll just go to wherever I can find it easiest that might be able to send it to you. And I totally would support if you got it from some local shop as well. Okay, so this is, again, the Sacred Traveler. Maybe I should talk about the boxes first, hey? I'm getting so excited. I'm like, let's do some readings. Different kind of video, Kate. So this one is actually published by Hay House. And Hay House is a really big publisher of oracle decks and spiritual books and things like this. So it means that they've vetted it and that they like it. So Denise Linn has designed and written this oracle deck. It has 52 cards in it, so that's a pretty healthy number. I tend to favor decks that have more than 50 cards because my brain really loves knowing the odds are like, you know, 2% that any one card is going to come out because it helps me build a sense of trust. And so you might see that as I review other ones. I tend to like when one has a lot of cards. The archetype deck that I'll show you, I love how many cards it has because it really brings a richness to things. So 52 feels really good to me, actually. This deck has often been a favorite of clients because it's like all about the journey and, our spiritual journeys. They kind of take a bit of a pathway. And so it feels reminiscent of that, which is really special. And people like the artwork as well. I personally am really attracted to the purpleness of it, which you'll see in a second. And I'm going to read a little bit of the back here because I don't always do that. But, if we're going to explore this whole deck and I want to tell you all about it, I might as well. There are secret messages all around you. It's simply a matter of being able to hear them. In this graceful and elegant card deck, best-selling author Denise Linn guides you in understanding the events, signs, and coincidences in your life, leading you toward a personal and spiritual transformation. Denise's sage guidance helps you transcend and activate your intuition, realizing your life's purpose and potential, and achieve a genuine state of peace. Yeah, I guess they do that. I don't really write as flowery descriptions, so it's hard for me to judge a thing like that. Yeah, okay. And so the cover design and the cover art are different, which is really interesting. So the cover design, it must be like the way that this was designed, and then the art, it might be the cover art then might be the artist for the whole deck. So I'm a little bit confused by that, to be honest. And I don't love when they do that, to be really fair. Like, I know Denise would have put in like a great deal of work for this. The art also takes a lot of time. It's a lot of work. And so it's nicer for me, I think, when I see the artist more front facing, as far as the visual art. So yeah, the cover design is by Nick Welch and the cover art is by Jesse Reich, or Reich, I think. So I feel like Jesse Reich might have done the whole thing. So let me look at the book now. It's a very sturdy box, which I love. You know, a lot of the Hay House ones have pretty solid boxes. Let's see if I can find this information. Cover art and all the card illustrations are by Jesse Reich. So yeah, I kind of feel like I had to look for that. So that would be a con for this deck, just because I think it's important to recognize the actual artist, as well. So there's that. Let's see. So it has a good little. I'm just looking through the book here. The book matches the box. I do love this card too. I'll try and find it when I look through. So it has a cute little introduction, talks about the sacred traveler, and basically just thinking that, our life is a spiritual quest. That's what it's saying. And sometimes decks tell you how to use their cards, and sometimes they just let it be, free for all. So this says each of these cards acts as a key to a different gateway beyond the world of form into the invisible realm of spirit. So take time to get to know your cards. As a suggestion, hold each card for a brief moment to tune into its energy, or put them next to your bed so that as you sleep, an energy connection can occur between you and the cards. Take time to consider the sacredness of your journey before you begin your reading. So, yeah, it's kind of telling you how to clear the space, center yourself, call in spirit, focus your intent, activate a sacred space, how to clear the cards. So they really are giving you, I love this actually, because they're giving, if this is like a first deck that you buy, they're going to give you a lot of support about how to work with these cards and really tune in and feel in trust and have this spiritual and sacred connection with them. And then choosing the cards, it says energize your hands, fill your cards with love, ask a question, shuffle the cards, and select the cards. So they're saying your fingers may tingle or feel warm as you are near the cards that you're meant to turn over. Don't think about it. So it's basically what they're suggesting is that you like spread out the cards and then hold your hand over top, which is interesting. That's actually how my father chooses cards. He's not a very spiritually minded person. Um, but sometimes, I break out the cards when it's Christmas or something. And so he'll generally do that. He'll put them all and then he'll sort of feel above them and decide. And I tend to, I'm just such a fiery person. I'm like, go, 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 go. And so I'll shuffle until one flies out. And you guys, if you've seen the channel, then you know how I shuffle. And it's my opinion that, and I hope anyways, that Denise would approve of that style and that it's okay, with her that we do it differently. Interpreting the cards. It says turn a card over, then notice. So it really does give you a lot of solid advice about how to read cards from your intuition, which I really love. And then storing the cards, recharging them. So that's really cool. Then they also break down different methods of card reading. So honestly, this is a solid book. I get familiar with these decks. I've been using them for years. And so it's nice. It's going to be really cool to actually go through all of these and see what they all mean, because I would have flipped through this at some point, but I'm not like gonna sit and pore over it and read it every single time. But this is, I think, a great starter deck. So if this is, you're just thinking about getting oracle decks for yourself, or you're finding you're not really using your oracle decks and you want to learn more, this is a really good deck for that, especially because it is laid out like a journey, so you'll see that. They say daily spiritual insight, monthly spiritual insight, a one card reading, And then they have kind of different questions like, what do I need to work on? What is my greatest ally in resolving this concern? What message am I being given and why? And then also they have some 3-card readings. This is really, really in depth. I'm actually really impressed with this book right now. A 5-card spread. Ooh, I'm gonna do that 5-card spread. I think that sounds really fun. It's like a message from your spirit guides. So maybe I'll do that right now even. Let's do this. I'm just gonna see. So it says card 1 is a message from your higher self and master guide. Oh, that's 2. Ah, I feel like I need to take them. Okay, card 2, message from your heavenly helpers. Aw, my heavenly helpers. That's so sweet. Card 3, message from earthly helpers. Earthly helper. Oh, my earthly helpers. Message from your ancestors. I feel like definitely like they landed with me when I just said ancestors. I haven't been connecting with my ancestors as often. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right, and then message from your future self. Oof, oof. That was too many. That was like 6 cards. I do not need 6 cards about my future self. That's a little too much. So I think those ancestors are like trying to say a lot, you know? So, okay. Future self. What? Ooh, okay, great. Okay. Oh, I didn't. I really. This is my folly. Okay, I'm not the best at reading instructions. I tend to be like a kinesthetic. Let's do this type of gal. So, okay, this goes in the center. Your higher self. Heavenly helpers goes above. This makes sense. Earthly helpers goes below. So that makes sense. Ancestors go on the left hand side, which also makes sense. And then future self on the right, so behind and forward. Cool. So I will show you. They also have a medicine wheel 1-year spread. Then they also talk about discovering your dreams and reading signs and coincidences. Like this is a really hefty amount of the book that was all like introduction and guidance and support, which is really cool. And then when you go through each of the descriptions here, what's cool about this deck is that every card will have an image and also something like a little sentence written beneath it. And so with this one, they have a little version of the card in black and white, and then the name plus the quotation, and then a little card meaning. And the card meanings are not super long. And then there will be a thing that says the sacred traveler wants you to know. So this is more of like a message, almost like from the voice of the sacred traveler. So I love that. I think it's cool. Sometimes when I read decks that have like multiple ways that you can interpret it, like the card meaning and then the sacred traveler message, I might, if I'm with a client, I might only read the sacred traveler message, or I might only read the card meaning. I might just go to where my eyes drift. So I think that's really helpful. Let's just see the rest of this book. It just says a little bit about the author at the end. You know, I love this. This is a great book. I think this is like exactly what you need it to be. It's a guidebook, and there really is guidance at the beginning. So kudos, Denise, for that. That is great. Let's just take a look at this reading, and then we'll kind of explore the cards. First of all, I love the design on these decks. This deck has purple. You can see it's like purple, and it has almost like this mandala-like effect, this design. And it looks a bit like aged. It's got some interesting dimensions to the purple. The mandala is like very intricate. This is a really, really tiny design pet peeve. This is super tiny. But all these, like the border here is all like a light purple, but this mandala is actually white, and it kind of like, I've never stared at it, obviously, but I sort of staring at it, I do kind of wish they were the same. So anyways, that could be preference, you know, but it is really like mystical looking. And so, you know, when you have this whole deck, like it looks pretty cool. It almost looks like typical cards. Like some decks that I'll show you don't feel like, you know, the typical oracle cards. This feels like so mystical, you know, like I should just be at a little fair or something. Anyway, so first, let's go to see if I can remember all these. higher self, and master guide. So this is higher self and master guide. This represents me because I'm the one doing the reading for myself. So we have Finding Sanctuary. What a beautiful card, eh? So I love it. It has like all these landscapey type things. So this is what I mean about this whole deck being about a journey. The Finding Sanctuary card says opening to your spiritual source. So that's about me. I'm going to do the other one from, again, this is from Higher Self and Master Guide. Begin now. Take your first step. So, this is like the beginning of a journey. And then this could be some rest along the way. And so, in a sense, there are things I'm beginning in my career, in my life right now. There are lots of new beginnings happening, actually. And so, take your first step is really encouraging, just to feel like, okay, step forward, do the thing, like, let's do this. Energy from my higher self and from my master guide that feels very sacred and special. And then opening to your spiritual source. Didn't I just mention I haven't really been connecting with my ancestors lately? I also haven't really been connecting with my animals lately. Sometimes we just weave in and out of taking extra time out to make sure that we have that connection. So, noted, spirit team, I'm visiting tonight. This is happening. I'm going to do that. Yeah, and it's cool when you look at these cards. They do give enough information that you could read into multiple things, right? Like when you just look at this image, you could look at the person waving goodbye. You could look at the person who's going on the trail. You look at the people watching. You could look at the fact that you're going over hills and fields. That could all mean different things to you. Here, you could focus on the clouds. You could be like in the clouds. You could also focus on the tower and this finding of the sanctuary and maybe being away and up high somewhere. You could also look at the mountains, right? There's lots of different aspects, but also not too many. Every now and then a detail of these cards will pop out to me that's different. Like this one, the Begin Now, has chickens in it. I wouldn't have noticed that necessarily every reading. And so I guess I'll read some of these messages. It seems like it could be a long video, but maybe that's what you all want. So let me know if this is interesting to you. Maybe I won't do a reading with every deck review, but this is the first, so you got to let me know. Finding Sanctuary, opening to your spiritual source. It says, rest, rejuvenate, tune in to your spiritual source. It's in times of retreat and inner sanctuary that you can truly hear the voice of your soul. Go within and find your inner refuge. This is like really key for me this week. Be a safe haven for others. Step forward with grace, deliberation, and thoughtfulness. Take moments for reflection. Profound healing of physical and emotional wounds can occur in the stillness of sanctuary. Difficult situations can be averted by taking time to go within. Aw, this is so true. Okay, the sacred traveler wants you to know sometimes the voyager becomes travel weary. I was just saying that I'm like really happy with how life is going. But the last couple of days, I've really needed to slow down and expect a bit less from myself per day because I was getting a bit weary. I just really was. I was like, woo, I've been doing a lot and receiving a lot, The pack becomes heavy and the journey can become lackluster. It's in these moments that the traveler needs to step off the path and find a temple or sanctuary to reassess and renew, and to remember what is truly important in life. This gives perspective and new life strategies. Create a place of beauty in your home or in nature that feels sacred and holy. Spend time there, carefully listening to your inner voice. If you've been pushing too hard or struggling to keep going, this is the time to be still and nurture your internal world. Listen to the voice of spirit. Well noted, well heard. So now we have Begin Now. And I should mention, this is not the case for every card deck, but this guidebook is in alphabetical order, which I love. I love being able to scroll to something in alphabetical order. It's okay when there are numbers as well. That's at least a system, but sometimes the systems are like a little more confusing. So I think a lot of my decks, they're alphabetical. Begin now. Take your first step. Every journey starts with the first step. There's no moment better than the present one to begin. You might not feel ready, but nevertheless, it's now time to start. A new cycle is beginning. Wipe the slate clean and get going. Release familiar routines, stagnant situations, or challenging relationships that no longer support or empower you. You are at the end of an old cycle and beginning a new and exciting one. Set your sails for a new horizon. Okay, so I'm gonna not read every single card because I think it makes sense. I don't know. I just think it'll be like way too long, and it's interesting to show you more of these different cards. But I really like that. I'll read either the card meaning or the Sacred Traveler for all the next ones, okay? I'm saying okay as if you can say okay back. But if you're here in the comments, say okay. Just let me know actually anything else you'd like to know about these card decks or what you'd like to see. I would love to know, do you want to see me doing a little reading for myself? Often my clients will want me to read for myself because they just want to get to know me and see how I'm interpreting things for myself. This one, I let you know, it makes a lot of sense for me right now. I am needing to spend a bit more time in the spirit realm to get a bit more energy so that I'm not feeling this sort of travel weary, this journey weary type of feeling. Because I've just been delivering and getting a lot more actually out of my work. And so that means I need to also do more inward work. And the begin now feels like it relates to some art projects that I have on the go and also a book that I am working on because I've been really hesitant to actually begin the book. So that feels like a step towards that, which is beautiful. And then we have a message from our heavenly helpers. I was saying upper world, but heavenly helpers. Okay, so upper realm guides. Ooh, this is a really good one. And so this says surrendering to the journey. And this is, I'm so glad this came out. This is the main one for the whole deck. Release, control, surrendering to the journey. So this tells me, I am being led. It's almost like when I look at this, the boat and the water is guiding me. It's like I'm drifting down a river and I need to release control because I know that at the end of this river is my destination. And so I don't need to actually steer it. It will get me there. Maybe a little steering, but release control. I love that there's this castle in the background. It's like it feels like we're getting to some really special place. Okay, release control, surrendering to the journey. Okay. Sacred Traveler wants you to know surrendering is not giving up. You are not yielding to a force outside yourself, you're opening to your soul. By releasing hold, you allow the creative forces of the universe to spiral through you, which brings inspiration and direction into your life. Sometimes the journey goes a different way than expected. When it does, don't resist. There are times you can see the path, but you don't know where it leads. Not knowing where you're going can activate inspiration, insight, and creative juices. You cannot discover new oceans and distant vistas unless you have the courage to let go of the shore. You don't have to do it all yourself. Support is all around you. Simply open your heart and allow it in. This is totally what I needed to hear from my upper realm because the upper world is a place where I go for, guidance and support. And I've been feeling a little bit like, whoa, it feels like I'm doing a lot. It feels like I was actually just saying this last night that I'm feeling a bit tired, like I've been pushing it and doing a lot on my own. And I was like, maybe I should get a massage. Maybe I should do something to take care of my body. And I think that's true. But also, I really feel it's like I need to receive from a spiritual place. And I really need to do more of that, just spend a bit extra time than normal so that I can get more of that energy for myself as well. And actually really trust that I am supported and really feel that in an experience. Message from earthly helpers. So this is animal, plant, and stone allies. Cool. Oh, I love this one too. Navigating by the stars. Follow your bliss. And this totally makes sense. My animal, who I do need to connect with a bit more right now, is guiding me towards a place of abundance and stability and wealth and also structure and more. Honestly, it's like more. This is what my animal is helping me with. And so when I think about following my bliss and that being the message from animal, plant, and crystal world, it's really saying I need to keep going to things that make me feel overjoyed and make me feel, I guess overjoyed is like just joyous. I don't, what's overjoy, you know? I'm allowed to have as much joy as I want. Follow your bliss. It's really like keep going towards these things that light me up. So that's really, really supportive. I love that. Follow your bliss. I'm gonna go read Navigating by the Stars. See, my habit is just not to read the cards, so I actually really do like this. Yes, this is the card meaning. Trust your gut. Have faith that a higher power is directing your life. Believe. Allow your life decisions to be dictated by what opens your heart and by what brings you joy. Relax, be patient, follow your bliss. Your life is divinely guided. All is going according to a wonderful plan for your life. Be confident that all is well. I do feel confident that all is well. I feel extra confident and extra supported. I actually, as I've been talking, I feel like an earthy rootedness. So I really highly recommend this 1, 2, 3, 5 card spread. It's really, really cool. I guess mine's 6 cards because 2 came out for that first one. All right. So next one is message from your ancestors. So this is people who are connected to me through heritage, my Scottish ancestors, my Dutch ancestors. Let's see what they have to say. Answering the call. The time is now. Ooh, this is fascinating. This actually really, really speaks to one of my ancestors has this like watch that he gave me. And every spot, every spot where there's like supposed to be a number on the watch says play, 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 play. It could also be joy, right? Joy, 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 joy. The time is now. It is always now the time for play. So I love this. This is like very much my ancestors. You know, there's not a card in this deck that probably is as specific to say the time is now. That is exactly what one of my main ancestors delivers to me. It's like the time is now to play, to enjoy your life. They're really focused on me enjoying my life, my ancestors, because we can easily forget to, you know. And this is a beautiful, beautiful card. I really actually see myself in this card going through this door into, you know, what could look like this sort of gnarly forest, and yet there's this deer friend waiting right outside. So I'm gonna see this answering the call. And yeah, it is kind of like medieval theme. So I do really love the imagery of this deck, and I tend to find actually a lot of men have really appreciated, like I have male clients who really appreciate this deck. They tended, you know, when I used to work in person more, I would ask people if they wanted to choose a deck, and this one was most commonly chosen by men, like noticeably so. So that's really cool as well. Although I have more decks now, so who knows what it would actually have been if it was the current setup. Okay, so I've had this deck for a few years then. Okay, answering the call. This is the card meaning. You've been called. The sacred journey always starts with a call. You might feel ready, or you might be uncertain and not willing. But when you receive the call, you must respond. If you've been waiting for your life to turn out, the waiting is over. Your true and authentic life is happening. If you've been hoping for a sign, this is it. Right now, you've been called, and a gateway is opening for communications from the spirit realms. The energy of courage surrounds you. You may not know what the future brings, but you do know that it is now time to act and go forward. Oof, oof. That's a message from my ancestors if I ever saw one. Okay, now a message from my future self. So this is interesting, right? We have our higher self, that internal soul self, and then our master guide, like us as a person. And then we also have our future self, the one who is still guided by that higher self, hopefully, but is the literal future self. So this is a bit of a difference, and they don't really describe that too much other than just saying, if we could go back and give our younger self that advice based on kind of like what we've learned, what would we say? So that's how I'm meant to see this. Whoa, transformation, a fresh new way of living emerges. I do really love this card. It feels a bit different than some of the other ones in the deck, like the fact that it just has one animal on it, but hey, I love it. I love it. I love this whole deck, really. I love that they also have a quotation at the bottom. You know, it's nice to have the word, the image, the quotation. You've got a lot to sort of work with here. You could read these cards and only read the quotation and get something from that. So transformation. I'm going to read the Sacred Traveler wants you to know. The journey transforms the traveler. So this is like my future self saying it to me, right? The journey transforms the traveler. When the traveler arrives at the destination, the traveler is no longer the same person who started out. Even if there are some areas that may be murky or unsettled in your life, don't be concerned. Aw, that's so nice. Yeah, I really appreciate that, my future self. Okay, this is the confusion that often appears before the rebirth. Like the phoenix that arises majestically from the ashes, a big change in your life is at hand. Don't hold on to old ways of viewing the world and limited ways of thinking. Be willing to see the world with fresh new eyes. Changes are afoot and it's all so very good. Like, imagine your future self saying that to you. Like, changes are afoot and it's all good. Everything is good. It's all really, really working out. So, this deck has been really powerful to use in the way that they prescribe, which is beautiful. I really like these. It feels very, I don't feel bothered by the fact that it's black and white. It feels like it gives you everything you need in this little book. The cards are beautiful. Let me show you a few more. This is Rejuvenating Rain. It's really, really beautiful. It says, clear the past and heal the present. We have some protected by angels. You are cherished by the angels. So not all of them are specifically about a journey, but at the same time, they're all about the spiritual journey. And not all of them are like, not all of them are super light and positive, but here's one that has to do with the journey. It says ascending the mountain. And how beautiful is that card, hey? That's so beautiful, ascending the mountain. Reaching your destination. Reaching your destination. So they're very like mystical. And some of them are just concepts, right? And some of them are about, here, fogged in, right? That's like, ooh, what's happening there? Fogged in. Ooh, and it says, go slow, take time. It's like a be cautious. So not all of them are like super positive. Everything's going great. But a lot of them are supportive to, where you are in your journey. I love this Mystic Healer card. It's one of my favorites of this whole deck. Healing energy flows through you. And there's often like these little animals, kind of little animal keys. And I love that when they have that in different decks. There's an owl in this card, and then there's also an owl in this card. There's like a little bird on this first light one. It says beginning a new cycle. So yeah, I'm not going to show you every single card here. Leave some mystery and incite you to actually use this deck for yourself. But yeah, it has definitely enough to give you a really specific reading. I really think that answering the call, time is now thing with my ancestors, that was like the best card that could have come out. When I look at all these other ones, that one actually has the most connection to my ancestors. So that's really cool. Really great that they actually guide and teach you through how to use the deck. And again, it's so purple and mystical and awesome. So that is the Sacred Traveler deck by Denise Linn. This has been an Oracle deck review by me. Let me know if you want to see more of these. I'm happy to do more. Happy to work through my whole collection, really. And let me know if it's valuable to you. Let me know if it matters, if you want to see me give myself readings when I'm doing these, or anything else you would want to know about them. And yeah, okay, enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are, and hope to see you again here at the Heart's Frontier soon. If you want to work with me, you can see all the links below. And yeah, we'll chat later.